It's the most nothing burger of nothing burgers ever, unlike Fox, which literally actually edits their interviews with Donald Trump and puts fake crowds in of Trump supporters and claims that they're independent people. But what Trump's trying to do here in delaying the time is to put pressure on Paramount, the parent company, which is trying to complete its merger with Skydance. The Skydance is this billion-dollar company. It's run by a guy named David Ellison. You may know that name, the son of Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, a billionaire family, right? Paramount, it was owned by Sumner Redstone. It's now owned by the Redstone family, Shari Redstone and others. They want to sell and basically cash out and sell to Skydance. It's an $8 billion merger. It requires certain government approvals because there are lots of local networks involved and the Federal Communications Commission has involvement here. So what Donald Trump's doing here in delaying it further is trying to exert maximum pressure on Paramount to reach a settlement with him personally, the way Meta reached a settlement in the amount of $25 million, the way Disney, ABC, reached a settlement with him for $15 million. And so he's working on pushing, cajoling, whatever have you here, to get this settlement with Paramount for Trump personally, and then open up the door potentially for the merger to take place. So Trump's saying that this is a $20 billion lawsuit. He claims that that one of the consumers who was also injured, why this needs to be kept in Texas, is Ronnie Jackson. Let's just take a look at this amended lawsuit, and I want you to see why I think it's just so utterly pathetic. I mean, literally, as you look through it, it goes, Trump's remarkable success as a content creator. Paragraph 53. It is universally known that President Trump has for decades been one of the most influential and successful businessmen in the United States, particularly in real estate. He initially learned about real estate business from his father, and then achieved his own historic success in New York City's notoriously challenging real estate market. He then posts all of his books and just random photos of himself. All right, let's take a look though at what Trump says is the $20 billion injury. I'm not going to paraphrase it. I want to read it to you so you see this is what Trump claims that he was injured $20 billion for. Paragraph 122. CBS moved Harris's answer in at least one other instance, further confirming that the interview was not merely edited but distorted. Indeed, the unedited transcript reveals the following exchange actually occurred. Whitaker. But the numbers did quadruple under your watch. Harris. And the numbers today, because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half. We have cut the flow of fentanyl by half. Whitaker's from 60 Minutes. But should you have done that? Shouldn't you have done that? Harris. But we need Congress to be able to act to actually fix the problem. Paragraph 123. In contrast, viewers of the election special saw the following exchange with Harris's fentanyl answer move. Whitaker. But the numbers did quadruple under your watch. Harris. And the numbers today, because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half. Whitaker. Should you have done that? Should you have done that? Harris. We have cut the flow of fentanyl by half. But we need Congress to be able to actually fix the problem. Okay, so that's what he's saying is worth $20 billion. And this exchange right here, it says, as an initial matter, the unedited transcript revealed that the advertised Harris reply and the manipulated Harris reply were both part of a single answer mangled beyond recognition by defendants tampering. Whitaker. This is what the 60 Minutes guy said. So we supply Israel with billions of dollars in military aid, and yet Prime Minister Netanyahu seems to be charting his own course. The Biden-Harris administration has pressed him to agree to a ceasefire. He resisted. You urged him not to go into Lebanon. He went in anyway. Does the U.S. have no sway over Prime Minister Netanyahu? Harris, the work we do diplomatically with the leadership of Israel is an ongoing pursuit around making clear our principles. Whitaker, but it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening. Harris, well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. And we're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end. Now, they want to make clear here, because this is why they're saying they were damaged $20 billion. In parentheses, the bold portion aired on Face the Nation on October 6, 2024. The underlined portion aired during the election special on October 7, 2024. Remainder was unused. That's the case. That's the $20 billion case. I'm reading it to you in the words of Trump's lawsuit right here, so you can evaluate if that is a $20 billion lawsuit. In my view, it's not a lawsuit, and most legal scholars with any shred of credibility, that's not a lawsuit. What's your damage? Who cares about that edit? Of course they have to. They can't edit out ums and ahs and a portion of a sentence that was slightly rambly, but that ultimately was put together. It literally makes no sense. And Trump didn't do the interview. Trump was too scared to show up. And meanwhile, why was he too scared to show up? Well, if Trump was asked that question, maybe Donald Trump would have answered that he wants to level Gaza like he's saying right now, and that he wants to turn it into resorts, and that he wants to occupy it, and he views it like a real estate deal. Maybe that's why Trump was avoiding the interview while Vice President Kamala Harris actually sat for the interview. Here's where they talk about Congressmember Jackson, MAGA Republican Congressmember Jackson. Representative Jackson is a consumer under the Texas consumer statute, since he is an individual who purchased or otherwise acquired defendants' broadcast and digital media content services directly or indirectly in Texas. As a Texas resident himself and a member of Congress representing Amarillo and the Texas Panhandle, Representative Jackson experienced the harm within Texas and within the Northern District of Texas. So you see the abuse of our litigation process right there. So you have a MAGA Republican congressman using a consumer statute, by the way, probably a consumer statute that he and Republicans want to get rid of, right? This is the same Republican Congress who are cheering on the destruction of the CFPA, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB. They're cheering that on, but now they're citing consumer statutes so that Donald Trump can sue CBS for $20 billion. Do you see how they abuse our legal system? And again, I don't care what this shouldn't be a political thing. This is a frivolous, whiny, ridiculous lawsuit. And what this is about is the merger between Paramount and Skydance for $8 billion. And what's Trump doing? He's having his head of the FCC go on Fox while all of this is taking place and talk about CBS at the same time. So here's the FCC chair, Brendan Carr, on Fox and Friends while all of this is happening. Play this clip.
A lot of people in this country right now on the radical left that are upset about this investigation into CBS and the work that I'm doing on broadcasters. And sort of paraphrase Thomas Sowell, when the government has been weaponized in your favor, it feels like discrimination when all of a sudden there's even-handed treatment. There's a lot of people that have been on that sort of that upper road of the two-tiered system of government. And what I'm here to do is apply the law evenly. This is a rare situation where we had extrinsic evidence that CBS had played one answer or one set of words and then swapped in another set. And CBS's conduct through this, frankly, has been concerning. Look, they just did an interview with Vice President Vance and immediately fully disclosed the unedited transcript. For some reason, they decided not to do that in this case. And so we've now opened a proceeding. We think it's in the public interest to allow people to participate in comment. And we're going to take this one step at a time at the FCC.
And hopefully you can talk.
And then they have Fox with Jesse Waters and others ramp it up. Again, I'm going to show you how Jesse Waters characterizes it. And I'm showing it to you because assume assume what he's saying is just true. Assume his framing is true, just for the sake of argument, which it isn't, but just assume it is. You're suing for $20 billion in your personal capacity when you're the president of the I mean, how weak, think about the weak and pathetic message this sends to other countries, that you're so fragile over former Vice President Kamala Harris's interview in an election that's over. Here, play this clip.
Heat of the election, Harris, Hail Mary with CBS. But the network was caught deceptively editing this answer. Watch.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening. The Wall Street Journal said that that your administration has repeatedly been blindsided by Netanyahu. And in fact, he has rebuffed just about all of your administration's entreaties.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. And we're not going to stop doing that. We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Trump sued CBS for $10 billion, and it looks like they might settle.
So I wanted to share that with you, but I wanted to explain to you the lawsuit, the strategy. Trump's going to try to use this delay with the FCC to put maximum pressure on Paramount to try to settle and to kiss the ring. That's what's happening here.